Hello everyone, it is Kentucky Southern Belle. Thank you and welcome back to my channel. We're doing something a little bit different today, and this is the video that I promised, and I decided to re-record it so you could kind of see things from a different angle and we could be here all together. So this video is sponsored by two different people today. As you can see, my shirt has KSB for Kentucky Southern Belle, which is the sublimation company that actually sent out this for my design. So they are also part of this. I will link them in the description box. Make sure that you hit them up. I love the detail, everything about it. I actually got two of them and they're great for shirts. The second sponsor is this is essentially another ExyHair sponsored video. I got some Afro Kinky human bulk hair, 10-inch 33, because since the last video, I had actually had darker hair. So now I'm more like, I don't know if you guys remember Allegra. However, we are going to just jump right into it because this right here, like I said, this is a 33. It matches my hair. Now, granted, it's a little bit off because if you watch my last live, I had put a little bit of color on my hair and it kind of scared me. The ends, like some of it will fade. So in today's video, I'm going to show you what I did in my other video. So I'm going to show you my tools, how I fixed my locks, what they look like. I've already started retightening them because it's been about 4 weeks since I've done it. Last time I told you guys that I waited way too long to tighten them. We're not doing that this time because it takes me longer to do them. So we're just going to jump right into the video. Sans requests from a few people and comments about me kind of having the background music. We're just going to be raw and unedited. We're going to jump right into it. It's going to be a short, simple video so everybody can follow and keep up. I'm going to show you what I use each time I do my locks, essentially because a part of it is the loose hairs, retightening them and lengthening them. So I use these two tools to lengthen when I'm like kind of getting where your hair kind of bunches up. And some people lose the length in their locks because your hair always wants to gravitate up. And if you have 4C hair, that's exactly what's going to happen. So I use three tools. I use this. This was a little curved little needle hair thing that I got from a local hair store here. And I hold on to it because ironically, they're just hard to find. You know, you would think in, you know, just this era of everybody doing like sister locks, locks in general, that you'd be able to find this size, but it's hard. I know that ExyHair does carry these on their site and they have different sizes and stuff like that, which is great. I'm going to show you the tools that they sent me the last video, but I didn't need them for this video, so they just sent over the hair. They come in 2 packs just like this, which is fantastic. I only needed a 10-inch because even though my locks aren't 10 inches, I mean, some are longer than others, but it's not 10 inches, but I can modify this hair if I need to. It's really good, especially if I'm starting a lock or one has kind of gotten weak. Like, I'm going to show you that on the video because I do have one that had gotten weak and I took some hair, wound it in there, used my little tool here to kind of, you know, so it's okay if you get a lock and it wants to kind of, you know, thin out sometimes, because you got to remember when I first started, I'm a DIYer, microlocker, loctician. I'm a hairdresser by trade. So, you know, I've been doing it for over 25, 26 years. So it just came easy for me. But yeah, it came in 2 bundles. I've already used one because I used some on the very back locks, like a few back here, just to kind of get those started. And I did a lock repair on the side, which again, I'll show you that one as well. Now, but they come in 2 bundles. I got the 2 bundles, link below. There's a coupon code, you get 10% off if you order through them. So yes, everything will be in the description box. So let's just jump into it. So for starters, anytime I do my locks, I'm gonna turn around so you guys can see the back. As you can see, I've already started these. And for the most part, I keep the parts pretty straightened. But at the same time, over the 2 years, it was 2 years, April the 1st, over the 2 years, sometimes the hair will merge. So for starters, we're going to start off with a lock that I have to do because it was essentially hair, and I've started on some of these on the side, as you can see. Again, crochet needle, this baby here, and this little, these are the 3 that I always use even when I lengthen. I'm gonna show you how to lengthen everything once we put the extension in. So first things first, this piece here. Now, I know some of you, like if you've watched my lives, I've told you the count, but I probably have like 300, and if I had to guess based off my old count, I probably have, and sometimes I use my water. If I had to count them today, I probably got 315, something like that, 310, 315 locks. And sometimes, for some reason, these little hairs will come out, and you'll see me look in the mirror because it's a little bit clearer for me to look in the mirror while I'm filming. So, but I want you to get a very good close-up of this, okay? Now, there's pieces of hair, as you can see, that get entangled in that. So I usually use my rat tail comb, like so, because instead of trying to force this into a lock, I'm just going to make it its own. That's how I went from like 285 locks to now 310, 315, something like that. So I take this hair here because it's going to go into this lock. It just kind of wants to come over here and be in somebody else's lane. So as you can see, my parts for the most part are still really clean, but I make sure I get all of the ones that I need out and pull all the rest of them away. So as you can see, I've kind of retightened these around the edges. And so I'm just going to clip these with a duckbill clip instead of a big clip so I can actually go in and show you guys my secrets. All right. And I've oiled them. And I like to, let's see, I just shampooed them not long ago. And so I'm not going to do that again for about another week and a half because I hadn't been sweating in my head or anything. And when I took my daughter to the spray park, I did not get my hair wet. Got my body wet, and there may have been some mist or something that got on them, but it's fine. So anyway, this is perfect. If there's any that, like I said, I usually move it so that it's a perfect square. So there's a few hairs that'll stay right there. Okay, clip these away. Sometimes I use these because it's a little bit more efficient. Clip this here. I take the hair, make sure that's there. And sometimes I'll use my little on them. So I'll clip the hair that's going to be in these locks to the side. Okay, there we go. It's ready. Now I'm just going to take a section out of the bundle. When you take it out of the pack, it puffs up. I mean, I'm going to have this forever. I don't plan on changing the color of my locks, so yeah. I feel like I look a little bit better with my hair lighter than I do with it darker because of my undertones. All right, and y'all forgive me for the spots on camera. I did a chemical peel last night, got the best of me. All right, so once I do that, I take the ExyHair. Like I said, this is 10-inch. I just kind of, it's pre-stretched, but I still kind of stretch it just a little bit just to get it ready. Do not use hair that is thicker than your hair, because what'll happen is as that lock grows out, it's gonna look really, it's gonna be smaller at the tip and then really bulky at the end. You don't want that, okay? Get the amount of hair that you need for that particular lock. So when I do it, I always make sure, okay, and even if you're doing your whole head with extensions, because if you've been following my journey, you know that I started off with extensions and I had relaxer in my hair as well. So it's okay if you're going to start it this way. So leave about, I would say maybe about this much, about a fourth of the way down, depending on the length of it. Mine's not very long. Okay. I'm going to take that hair and I'm just going to proceed to braid it like I would if it were my hair. And this is essentially how I started mine off, except I got it a little bit closer. And you don't have to do any special tricks because I'm going to show you why. Once I get so far down, I split one of the hairs and I just keep going down the shaft of this hair, just like so. Okay. Here we go. And then I just proceed to braid down. And it's okay if you feel like, oh, well, you know, that's lighter. Remember, I have highlights in it. And even though if you watch my live, I refresh the ends of my color at the very end of the video, I don't, you know, make it darker, and I don't leave it on for an extremely long time. And you want to make sure that you're braiding past the length of your hair. And I know you guys kind of see that. I pray that you do. I'm gonna zoom in. See, I've got so much left there, and that's okay. We want that. Once I get past my hair, and again, everybody has their technique. Some people do double-stranded twist. I just like the way that my locks turned out with the technique I use, which is I braided it so far down, as you can see. But you see all of this outgrowth. No worries. It's going to be all good. But I braided all of my locks so far down, and then I twisted it. And since my locks in the top are a little bit longer, I'm just going to, I'm not going to cut this extension. I'm not going to do anything to it. I'm just going to kind of twist it. And then when I get about a quarter of the way down and I have the ends left, then I braid just a little bit, just slightly. And I like the ExyHair because even though it's in my hair, as it gets longer, I can always take this out. And it's going to be a while. It's going to be a while before this particular Microloc that I started catches up with like the rest of these. So I'm okay with it being in there, because when it's wet, it's curly, and as you can see, it looks really good. This is the actual color of my hair after a few washes after I color it. Okay, so we're moving on to the next step. You can use your crochet needle. I'm going to show you how to use that if you prefer for the first interlock. So I'm just going to go underneath that lock, make sure these are out of the way. Pull this through. Okay. Bam. Now for me, it's faster to use this when I'm, you know, kind of doing a lock repair or something like that. Go in the opposite direction, 4 point. Okay. And each time you do your locks, make sure that you start in a different direction than you did the last time. I keep a mental note so that I don't overlap that. See that? Completely locked in, baby. You don't have to worry about if you shampoo or if you wet your hair, if it's going to come down. It's going to go with the rest of the family. And as you can see, even though I just did that, it blends with the rest of my locks. That's my technique. And that's pretty much it. Now, the next part of this video, because I don't want this super long, I'm going to show you on the next lock what I do when I need to, see how light this end is? It matches this here, because I'm telling y'all, once I shampoo it a few times with the color, it's gonna be the color it needs to be. Sometimes it gets a little darker, and I'm okay with that. Okay, so on this lock, I was trying to find one that had some hair sticking out that needed to be, okay, so we're gonna do this one actually, because this one needs a little bit of work as far as the hair being in it. Let's see, actually this one's gonna be better because I've got a few pieces of hair. Okay, so you're gonna get locks where the hair sticks out of that lock, and that's normal. Okay, I got the little short. This one was like a little baby lock up here. Look how long it's gotten. Okay, so I'm going to show you a technique when you have hair that comes out of your lock that's just kind of dangling. This was the extra hair that was left over before I put the ExyHair extension hair in, okay? So we're just gonna take that hair just like so. What I do is I take the excess hair, let me see in the video, I wrap it around the lock. Get it nice and tight. We're gonna use two different tools here to ensure that we get all that loose hair and it looks sleek and pretty like the ones in the back, the ones I've done. Once I've got the hair in there, I'm going to use my tool. And again, you can use your crochet needle. Sometimes it goes faster with the needle than it does with this tool. And see how tight that is? It looks tight, but you see the hair sticking out right here. That's okay. I'm going to show you how to fix that. So go ahead and do your 4-point. I'm going in a different direction than I did the last time. And sometimes the hairs nearby like to kind of intercept and get in there when they're supposed to be in the other ones, which is why, like I say, I use the clips. Make sure you're pulling that all the way through. We're going underneath the bottom. Gonna pull. And like I say, even though you want these tight, don't place so much tension on that lock that you cause breakage. Okay, so now that that's done, we are now going to use this tool. Now, Exy sent me the ones that had 1, 2, and 3 prongs like this. Okay, I've used the second one, but I like this one for the sleekness and for repairs, but whatever you feel comfortable with, because sometimes with the 2, it does make it go faster. And I've actually got another one that's already open, the ExyHair. And this is a 0.5 millimeter. Yep, all these are 0.5, except for just 1 prong, 2, and then 3. Just depends on the thickness. If you have dreads, it's gonna be better if you use the 3 prong, which is also a 0.5 millimeter. Take this, all that hair that's sticking out, you're gonna do the technique, the rolling technique that I've showed you, okay? And see how cleaned up that part looks now that I've got that hair out or in that lock. So use the pointy side, and I've gotten really good at it, so just kind of watch closely because I do it kind of fast. But I'm very mindful. It's almost like the palm roll, except I'm using the tool to help me put that extra hair in there. Okay, just like so. Okay. Move you out of the way. See that? And some people, what they'll do when they need to do that as well, they'll palm roll it just to get any frizzies. And it's okay to use like an oiled product, natural oil. But at the moment, yeah, you can do it either way. Now see, this lock doesn't have much bunching up, but I'm going to show you how to make this smoother so you retain the length of the actual lock. And as you can see, I mean, they're getting pretty long. I'm super proud of them. You can use this tool or you can use this tool, whichever you feel comfortable with. But what I do is I take the back of this crochet needle. Don't pull too hard. You just trying to smooth that lock out. See? Make sure you hold the root. If the root is a little bumpy, and you just pull it down like so. Just like so, all the way to the ends. Now on this side, guys, in another video, I showed you how to help to get those to seal like the rest of the locks. Same technique, except you're gonna take their hair and you're just gonna kind of, and like I said, I've gotten to do it where I can do it so fast that I don't even have to look in the mirror to do it. I can just feel it and do it now because I've gotten so good at it. I wanted to show you a lock repair. Actually, I'm gonna show you the one that I used the ExyHair to fill in like some thinner spots that I had on this one particular lock. I had merged 2 of them together. Once you smooth that, but I'll show you that in a minute. Once you smooth that, see how that end is? Take this needle and go up into it just like so. But you're gonna be rolling it at the same time. And some people, like, you really won't see any videos that kind of show you that. But all I'm doing is just kind of creating, that lock on that seal on the end with very minimal hair. See that? Let me turn it this way so you can see it. So yeah, you're just gonna twist and you're going up into it just so you get that loose hair, but make sure you're rolling it so that that lock stays uniformed with the part at the top. And if you can see the difference, this is the lock that I done. Got rid of the new growth that was the hair that was sticking out. It's all neat and clean. It's nice and square. And you can see that, let me take this out, in comparison to the lock that's beside it that has not been tightened yet. So see the difference? That was kind of, like I said, it's got the new growth. I'll go in and tighten it up. And this is the completed one. So yeah, there you have it. That's pretty much it. I only use these tools to do this. Now, I want to show you before we, in this video, the one that I had to fix that had, let's see, keep that one back there, that had the two locks that I did together, but it was just looking janky. Okay, let's find it. And see, now it looks so good. It blends in with the rest of them, so you can't tell, but I'll be able to know. Okay, this one right here. Yep, this is it. Let me make sure before I lie. Yep, this is it. Okay, so this one, this particular lock had lumps in it. Because, and as you can see, it's kind of got like a little bit of a lightness to it. It's because I used the ExyHair to go in. And I went in and did this, and there was a weak spot right here. And I took some of that ExyHair, and first I wrapped it around. Let me show you an example of one. If you need lock repair on one, because I've actually got a few that I actually did that on. Okay. Was it that one? All right. Yeah, 4 weeks, this is where I'm at. You know, it seems like the longer they get, they tend to, yeah, they just get a mind of their own. And plus, I eat a lot of protein because, as you know, I'm on a journey for self-improvement, which includes weight loss. So I try to incorporate a lot of proteins, irons, my magnesium, so it just makes my hair grow really fast. Okay, so say for instance this one's not locked on the end, and this is one of the ones that I can show you. It doesn't necessarily need repair, but I would like for it to be a little bit fuller like it is here. And it's just the way I went about it when I started my locks. And see, this is one of the ones that has a lot of outgrowth. See? So from the last time I tightened it to now, you can see, yeah, those roots there. I did color it, you know. So I'm gonna show you how to do the repair. I'm dropping my water bottle and stuff. Okay, so not gonna do anything to the roots on this one. I'm just going to show you what to do. Okay, so what I do, get some of the ExyHair, same thickness of the lock, like so. And I like the ExyHair because when you get it, it comes in the bundle, but you just kind of pull. I keep the hairnet on it so it's not all over the place, and I make sure to use only what I need. So in this case, the lock is about the thickness of this. Okay, so what I do, wherever there's a weak spot, I go above it. So in this case, I want to kind of thicken this a little bit and seal the end, okay? So all I'm gonna do is put it right above it. It's almost like when you see people get faux locks and you see them kind of taking it. I leave this out and I just kind of wrap all the way around until avoiding this section here that's hanging out. The ExyHair is really good for coloring, and it retains its texture even though it's in your lock. It's in your hair. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I'm doing. If you follow me, let me get a little bit closer. And I'm just essentially wrapping until, and don't over wrap where it's too bulky. You want it to look like it's your hair. And as you can see, it looks like my hair. Next, once you kind of get a little bit of that left, like so, you're going to take this longer piece and you're going to just kind of start wrapping from that point, sealing in the same thing. And this is how essentially faux locks are created. This is just on a very small scale compared to that. So just keep wrapping. This is the end of my real hair. And we are almost there. This just kind of gives us a little bit of a thickener. Okay. Hey, stay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, sweetening.
You're welcome.
You got me some mint water, my favorite. I'm almost done, sweet girl.
Okay.
All right. See that? All right. Now that that's done, you're going to take this one needle here, and you're going to do the same thing that I showed you earlier. Now, it's sealed on here. You don't have to worry about it, but I just like to make sure everything is everything. Okay. And usually when I do this technique with the ExyHair, it doesn't go anywhere. Even like the little pieces that stick out, sometimes I'll palm roll those in there real good, all the way to the end. And it is, so even if I didn't want to seal the end, I could just leave it as is, but I'm going to go ahead and try to do that just a little bit. And see how uniform it is? You can't even tell that I've done that. And like I say, as the ends line up, you'll be like, it just looks like it's highlighted like the rest of them. So take your needle. Sometimes I'll kind of curve that end like so. Because like I said, remember my real hair's in there. Just twist it just a little bit. Take your needle. Sometimes I'll kind of just do the, instead of the palm roll, because it's so small, I use the finger roll. And if my eyes cross, that's because I'm looking at it like this. And you do the same thing you would when you are doing your locks. Like whether it's your real hair or you're using extensions. And a lot of times it'll just kind of go on its own. But yeah, I just want to ensure that it's in there good. Okay, now, end sealed. It's a little fuzzy, but it's fine. After a couple of shampoos, it'll be just what it needs to be. And it blends in with the rest of my locks. Okay? I told you on my videos, I do not gatekeep. So that is essential. Like if I wanted to add length to this one, I could. But I'm okay with having a few little shorties in there, you know, whatever. It just makes it more authentic. So there you have it. Thank you for joining me. This was a well overdue video. I did have some other stuff that I recorded and I was going to kind of come back and edit it. But I decided I don't want to do that. I want to be more authentic. So shout out to my sublimation company and shout out to ExyHair. Like I said, the code is below. Use it. Like I said, I've used the I only use ExyHair when I am fixing my locks. When I first started on, when I took them out, when I've had lock repairs. So ExyHair is my go-to. And trust me, you will not be disappointed. And see, even clips get lost up in here. You will not be disappointed. We are also going to do, my next video will be me using flexi rods, foam ones that I actually got from the Dollar Tree. Many years ago, I had some, but I don't know, something happened to them. And I just got some from the Dollar Tree one day. I seen them in there. So we are actually going to style out our locks once I'm done doing that. And see, you can't even tell which one. Which one did I do? You can't tell. So anyway, thank you. Have a blessed day. Thank you for tuning in to Kentucky Southern Belle. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Email me like you have. Thank you for your continued support. I pray that you have a great week, great weekend, great life. Until next time.